too long, communities in Rushcliffe have felt that the planning system isn't on their side. For too long, councils like Rushcliffe Borough Council have not been able to get the backing they need to prevent overdevelopment and inappropriate development. And for too long, developers have used the planning system to their advantage, not listening to local people and only building out developments when it suits them. And today, this bill offers a huge correction. It resolves many of the concerns my constituents have most often raised with me, including the fact that too many homes are built in the countryside rather than on brownfield sites. This bill strikes the balance between building the homes we need and ensuring they're built in the right places, strengthening local plans, providing greater protections for the environment. The fact that local communities don't get enough of a say about development in their area and they can't prevent ugly development. This bill will give more weight to local and neighbourhood plans and make them simpler to produce. It introduces mandatory local design codes so that developers have to respect styles drawn up locally, from the layout and the materials used to the provision of green spaces. There is the perception that developers buy land and then don't build on it. This bill strengthens the requirement for commencement and completion notices, addressing land banking and slow build-out by larger developers, and the worry that we don't have the roads, GP places or school places that we need for new development and that developers don't pay their fair share. Well, this bill reforms developer payments through a locally set, non-negotiable infrastructure levy, which means that developers would always have to pay their share. And as other honourable members have said this afternoon, this must come with development, not after it. And finally, Rushcliffe Borough Council's biggest concern, the abuse of the duty to cooperate, which has enabled Labour-run Nottingham City Council to shirk its responsibility to build houses and regenerate the city centre of Nottingham. They have used this national policy to push nearly 5,000 houses away from brownfield city sites into the countryside of Rushcliffe. That's on top of Rushcliffe's own housing target. So I am delighted, I am relieved, I am jubilant that this pernicious, blunt instrument, which is the duty to cooperate, is being abolished in this bill. Especially as right now in Nottinghamshire, Nottingham City Council are gearing up to try it all over again this autumn. Authorities, of course, should cooperate with each other, but not in a way that can be abused. True cooperation means a system which works for all parties, and we must make sure that the replacement for the duty guards against this abuse in the future. Madam Deputy Speaker, in conclusion, this bill represents the turn of the tide, an important and transformational step forward for the hard-pressed communities who've seen unwelcome development and who feel powerless in the face of large developers. I thank ministers for listening to our concerns along the way, and I know they will continue to do so on many of the issues raised today, such as a more flexible approach to housing numbers and national development management policies.